Okay? Let's meditate. The word that pops up in my mind is perseverance, or it's like repetition is the mother of skill if you do the right thing. What's the right thing? The way of nature. It's absolute power, and that's the reason why we are here. So when we are lost, we want to connect to the source of that power, the way of nature. God, if you will, or Buddha's way, if you will. But maybe because of my engineering background or scientific interest, I like the way to think. It's the way of nature or laws of nature. It's manifesting everywhere. But as a human, we are unique in the sense that we just don't follow the laws of nature. We start to play with our mind to the point of making ourselves misery, or fighting the war, argument, delusion. I listened to, what's his name? Walden, written by Thoreau from perhaps 19th century, living in nature for 2 years. Not to suggest that you live in nature for 2 years, but to have a time to look at yourself quietly and be sincere and truthful. Without much interruption from the world, if you can, or if you manage to find such time to have a calm and quiet mind. And that ties to the idea of perseverance. And when we get lost, as I mentioned in the other video, Dogen, even if you awaken, you may find the flowers fall and the weeds grow like a delusion, pop up. So keep working on it, not to be sad or anything. We are humans with a unique ability to use our mind or the brain, but also listen to our heart, if you will. So this is a time for that. When the mind works, let it work, let it be. And Dogen said, also, I pointed in the other video, to learn the way of nature or the way of Buddha is to forget yourself. So no self. And you throw yourself into the house of Buddha or into your heart, nature's way. So there's no artificials. It's natural way of being, to connect to, instead of being disconnected. It's not just word that have to be acted upon. It's not the concept, it's the practice. It's the perseverance. But you don't need perseverance theoretically because it's the nature's way. But having habit developed over time, there's a need for willpower to go through, to break through the cause of those delusion and suffering that we may create on our own. No thinking, no mind, no self. There's a saying, when you sit, meditate for the length of time that is corresponding to the length of incense to burn. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe more, maybe less. Well, you sit for that amount of the incense to burn out. That's when you are becoming, or you are Buddha for that time. Buddha may not have had the incense when he sat to meditate. But he did sit and meditate. Under the Bodhi tree. And the story goes, when he did it for a long time, one morning he saw a bright star on the eastern sky. At the time, as if the light penetrated through his whole body, passing through. He had the enlightenment. He didn't do it. He threw himself out. Nothing left. No more thinking. No more self. Into nothingness. Maybe as the universe was created out of nothing, Big Bang, we may find us reborn in nothingness, no mind, no self. I call that place in our heart our eternal home. Be comfortable. Throw yourself in. You may be breathing in and breathing out. Then you may be lost and there's only breathing. No you. In fact, there may be no you, meaning no, there's no, because it's absolute. Everything as it is. Breathe in, breathe out. Naturally. So don't try to be natural. Just be. You are sitting still, straight your spine, but not forcing, let it just move as it will, nature's way. It balances by itself. And your body cells may communicate with each other by themselves. To find a way on their own. And there's no thinking, and there's no self. Nature's way. I hear the wind chime. And just make the sound. Not trying. Thank you for joining me. May all beings be happy. Find your home.